you think you could tell me exactly what happened, miss?
I look around the shops at lunch. I was in a store when Mr. Gage, my boss, bursts in yelling that I'm late on my lunch.
And?
We came back. I was angry. I walked in front. I heard shots. I turned and saw Mr. Gage fall.
You're lying, Miss Galetta. You know what happened and why. You're going to tell me.
There's nothing to tell. I've done nothing wrong. How can you prove different?
Your pearl earrings, Miss Galetta. You've been paying for them for a whole year. Stop lying and tell me what happened at the jewelry store.
Oh, God! I won't lose the earrings, will I?
You could lose your freedom, you little fool, if you don't stop obstructing a murder investigation.
Mr. Kalu. Edgar Kalu. He runs the jewelry store. He's showing me a lovely watch. Mr. Gage bursts in. Mr. Kalu gets very angry with Mr. Gage, and they start yelling at each other. Mr. Gage tells me that all of the things in the store are junk, nickel-plated, made in Japan, and yells at me to get back to work.
Then what happened?
We get back here, and I hear a loud bang. Mr. Gage clutches at his back. I hear another bang, and another, and another. Mr. Gage falls to his knees. It looked very painful.
Which jewelry store?
Hartfield's. Broadway, between 5th and 6th.
Did you see the person who shot Mr. Gage?
Of course I did. Mr. Kalu looked very angry. He kept firing the gun. He kept pulling the trigger. He threw the gun in a bin and turned and walked away.
You're making me angry, Miss Galetta. Is that what you want? Tell me why Mr. Kalu shot Mr. Gage.
Mr. Gage hates Jews. A lot of people do. It's not my fault if he has nice things.
How many shots did you hear, Miss Galetta?
It's difficult to remember. It sounded like there were so many, and they were so loud.
I need you to concentrate, Miss Galetta. Even minor details can become important later on.
Well, there was one bang, and then another, and then 3 very quickly, close together. 5.
Thank you for your help, ma'am. You've been very brave. We'll need you to make a formal statement about what happened to Mr. Gage.
Does that mean I can still collect my... Never mind. Yes, officer, I'll make a statement.
We have the murder weapon.
And the murderer. The girl saw it all. Our killer works at a jewelry store called Hartfield's.
That's a couple of blocks from here.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Tate, maintain the perimeter.
Officer needs help, 103 in view.
Officers, what can I do you for?
Officers Phelps and Dunn, sir, Wilshire Division. We need you to trace a serial number.
Sure. What's the make and model?
FN Brown. Model 1922. The serial number is 01138.
You don't say. Well, I didn't sell it. Europeans love them, but it's pretty rare you find one over here. Although I did have one in here a couple of weeks back.
Remember the owner?
Yeah. Caillou. Edgar Caillou was his name. Thing looked like it'd never been fired, but he brought it in here for cleaning anyway. Then he bought a box of cartridges and he left.
Do you know where we can find Mr. Kalu?
Told me he was on his lunch break. Said he worked at Hartfield's jewelry store just up on Broadway.
Thanks for your help.
Officer, can I interest you in a new watch?
Officer Cole Phelps, are you Edgar Kalu?
No. Mr. Kalu is out back. He said he'd lie down. I'll buzz him for you.
Son of a bitch! Go, Cole, go!
He's getting away!
Kalu, get back here!
You want a tip? Fill my coffee faster next time, honey.
Lock him up and throw.
He's only a rider. He can't.
Too late, Kalu! Edgar Kalu, you're under arrest for the murder of Everett Gage.
The case that makes you, and the case that breaks. The one you never solve. The one that keeps you awake at night. The case that gnaws at your guts and ruins your marriage. The case that keeps you propping up a bar as you relive the what-ifs, the might-have-beens, the half-leads, and the half-truths. The case that other cops murmur about whenever you walk past. The case you never, ever discuss.
God's mill may grind slowly, but it grinds finely, son. I hear it's you who knocked down Malefactor from the shooting yesterday.
Yes, sir.
Then tell me, Boyle, I hear you're quite the climber, a man of initiative. How would you like a chance at smiting this man with the sword of justice?
You're asking me to conduct the interview, sir?
I am, young Phelps. You've only been with us a short time, and you've assembled yourself a stellar arrest record. Not to mention the fine work you did in the war, sending heathens back to the hell they came from. But I'm curious as to whether you can turn your hand to interrogation. Takes a certain animal cunning, lad. Do you think you might be ready for that?
Yes, sir. I think I am.
Good man. You need many things for a conviction, young Phelps. A motive, opportunity, hard evidence, and best of all, a confession. If you fail in the former, you can always use a modicum of violence to obtain the latter. How are you feeling, lad?
Fine, sir.
Very good. The evidence is overwhelming. May the cat eat him and the cat be eaten by the devil. Bring me a confession, young Phelps. This is your chance. Don't fail me.
Has my lawyer arrived yet? I want to see my lawyer.
A lawyer can't help you, Mr. Kalu. You shot a man dead in cold blood. You're going to have to pay for that. You followed Everett Gage and the girl back to the shoe store. You put 5 rounds in Gage's back.
Gage was a bastard. Whatever he got what was coming. But it had nothing to do with me.
You shot Gage, and we know why. We can put you at the scene.
You can't prove anything.
We know all about the argument. Miss Goleta made a statement.
You're counting on the girl? You think her testimony's gonna stand up in court?
You're going to the gas chamber, Edgar.
That Jew-hating fuck couldn't leave me alone. I had a sale. That girl was ready to buy.
Let's change the subject. You fasting for Yom Kippur, Mr. Kalu?
Yeah, let's change the subject, you going motherfucker. How about baseball?
You're not denying you're a Jew, Mr. Kalu.
This is America. It's not Germany. It's not a crime.
Some people don't like Jews, Mr. Kalu.
Yeah, and I guess you're one of them.
Gage hated Jews, didn't he, Mr. Kalu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You left-wing leaning parasite. You expect me to sit here and listen to your drivel?
You call me that? You sit there and you call me those names, you goddamn goy butt snatcher? You and that stup Gage!
Why did you do it, Mr. Kalu?
Gage. He's in the Chamber of Commerce. He's in with all those momsers. He blocked every proposal I ever put forward. Kike this and kike that. He's been trying to ruin my business for years.
Edgar Kalu, I'm charging you with the first-degree murder of Everett Gage. I respect your beliefs and your right to hold them. I hope for your sake the jury can commute to murder in the second degree. May God have mercy on you, sir.
Masterfully done, Officer Phelps. It is just, Officer Phelps. Isn't it, lad?
Yes, sir.
Then let me have a word with the Chief of Police, young Phelps. The department needs heroes. A shining, honest face the public can admire. I applaud a man with your talent for unwavering justice. Back to your duties for now, boyo. But here's a piece of advice. Get yourself 2 suits, get them pressed. You'll be needing them.
Here's your new desk, kid. You're on traffic. The hot sheet is posted here, next to the map.
What's his problem?
That's Biggs. He's an institution.
So this is what all the fuss is about. Why couldn't they build a freeway that goes past my place?
They haven't even approved the money yet, kid. The bond issue won't be till December. It'll be years before any of this will happen. Here's your new partner, Stefan Burkowski.
I've heard all about you, Phelps. You go easy on me and let me earn the odd citation, and maybe we'll get along fine.
I'm here to learn, Detective.
Oh, he's an intense one, isn't he, Mel?
Who's intense?
The newly minted detective here, Cole Phelps.
Hi, Phelps. I'll be keeping an eye on you. I could spend a little time basking in reflected glory. Make a change from busting hookers and dope fiends.
Who was that, Commander?
Roy Earl, chief detective and advice.
Do they all dress like movie stars?
Well, Roy is a movie star. And the whole of the seedy side of LA is his audience.
What is that supposed to mean?
Stick with me, kid. You'll find out.
And now some housekeeping. Warm Central Division welcome for Detective Cole Phelps. Some of you guys may know Phelps. He's the cop who broke the jewelry store murder. Stand up and take a bow, Phelps.
If it's all right with you,
That's
sir.
That's an order, Phelps.
Shh, quiet, everybody.
Phelps is one of only 2 serving LAPD officers who received the Silver Star during the war. Really gave it those lousy Japanese, eh, Phelps?
I did my best, Captain.
Why are you war heroes always so modest? I've partnered Phelps with everybody's favorite Pole, Stefan Bukowski.
Hope you like work, kid. Bukowski sure as hell doesn't.
Well, that's why we have partners, right?
Okay, can it, guys. Stick with Bukowski. He's a good cop. He knows traffic inside and out. I'm going to start you out with one case. You do okay, I'll give you a couple more. You screw up, you'll be rousting vagrants and running license plates. Now get down to the PE Freight Depot, 6th and Alameda. A patrolman called in a suspicious vehicle. Signs of foul play. See what you can find out.
Come on, Phelps.
They really pushed you through quick, didn't they? 6 years on patrol before I got this desk. You were here in 5 minutes.
What do you want me to say? I didn't ask for any favors.
That's the guy.
You know this place? Sure. Near the old gas works and Signo Depot in the warehouse district. I'll direct.
All units of 459.
So, tell me a little about yourself, Phelps. Are we friends now, Bukowski? We have to work together. Don't be so touchy. I grew up in San Francisco. My father was in shipping. I went to college at Stanford. Did 2 years ROTC before Marine OCS at Camp Elliott. Shipped out in early '45 as a first lieutenant and fought in the Okinawa campaign. I was wounded, shipped back home. Did a year on the beat.
Watch what you're doing!
So you won the Silver Star. I don't want to talk about it. And let me get this straight. You single-handedly killed 40 Japs on this hill in Okinawa. No. You were up there all night, draped in the flag, knife between your teeth, gun at the ready. Finished? The Emperor Hirohito himself leading the charge against you. I did my part, but...
All units of 459 just occurred at 6th and Saris. Any unit handled, code 2 identified.
I kept the streets of LA safe for the people. Yeah. Now I get it. Unfit for service. Now fuck you, Phelps. I earned a bravery citation during the Zuda riots. Sounds like you had it rough. I did my job. No one is saying you didn't. I did 6 years as a patrolman. That's the third time you've told me.
That you, Bukowski? Go on through. Parking lot straight ahead.
I need to get back to work, officer.
The detectives are here now. You repeat to them what you told me.
I did the right thing by calling this in. I'm just a working...
Just give them your story and you'll be all right.
This is your first case, Phelps. It's okay to admit it if you're stumped. If you don't know what to do next, just come talk to me and we'll see what we can figure out. Thanks, Stefan. You're okay.
I'm Officer Hart.
Phelps, traffic. What have you got?
Abandoned car, probably stolen. The solid citizen is Nate Wilkie. He called it in.
What gives with the coroner?
There's blood all over the interior. Someone's copped a full Broderick, but no stiff as yet.
We have an owner for the car?
The car is registered to an Adrian Black, just north of Bunker Hill.
All right. We'll take a look around.
I'll keep Mr. Wilkie talking, but don't make him wait too long. He's the restless type.
"32 years old, married. Sounds like an average guy. What was he doing out here?" Happier times, I guess. Stenzel glasses. Home repaired by the look of it.
Always the same through a viewfinder. How about you?
I've got a mystery sample waiting at the lab.
Brand name
Practical
might give us
Joker
something
says
to go on.
Contaminated soil. My guess, it's a big lump of shit.
Mr. F. Morgan picked up a live pig yesterday? The victim looks to have lost a lot of blood. Doc?
Detective Phelps. What have we got? A lot of blood for a blunt force injury. Victim must be in a very bad way.
Any sign of the guy?
Not unless he's in the trunk of the car.
Sir, I'm Detective Phelps.
Name's Nate Wilkie.
You found the vehicle?
Sure. Saw it just sitting there. Strange place to be parking your car. Figured I'd better take a look. And then I saw all the blood. So I called the police.
Mind if I ask what you were doing out here?
Well, I work for the railway. I was on my way out to the switch and reckoned I'd take a shortcut.
Did you see anybody else in the yard? Maybe somebody hanging around the car?
Nope. I hadn't seen a soul all day till you boys turned up.
Do you know Adrian Black, Mr. Wilkie?
No, sir. That ain't a name I'm familiar with.
Do you want to tell me what you know, or do we have to take you in and loosen you up a little?
Who do you think you are talking to me like that? You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The wallet by the car. Was there anything in it when you arrived?
You accusing me of something, mister?
Tell the truth, Mr. Wilkie. You rifled the wallet.
My money is my money. You can't prove I touched that wallet. Man does the right thing, and the police try to turn him into a criminal.
We found a steel pipe with blood on it near the car. Do you know anything about it, Mr. Wilkie?
No, sir. I went straight for the law when I saw the car was full of blood.
When you saw the blood, was it wet, bright red, or darker like it is now?
Darker, I'd say. Looked dry already.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Wilkie. We'll contact your employer if we need anything more from you.
If you have to, I guess. I can't really spend no more time over this.
Somebody's got to inform the wife, Phelps. If you're done here, we'll head over there now.
.620 Bunker Hill Avenue. You know where that is?
Behind Bunker Hill. A couple blocks north of Central Station.
So, what do we tell the wife?
We play it by the book. There's no stiff yet, so let's see how it plays out.
All units, officer needs help. 333 South Main Street. 333 South Main Street. Officer needs help. 211, the shots fired. Unit to
Could be a car
3
theft gone
identified.
wrong. Make Black drive somewhere lonely, then give him a tap.
But why leave the car?
Well, obviously, someone got a little heavy-handed.
It's the wrong way around.
Well, how so, genius?
Where is Adrian? If you've gone to all the trouble to steal the car, and it goes wrong, you leave the body behind, not the car.
You got something there, Phelps. Doesn't add up.
read about the guy on the crossing yesterday?
No, what happened?
Over on Lincoln Avenue. This guy's driving along and his oil light comes on. He stops the car and gets out. He pops the hood and...
He's on a rail crossing.
Oh, you got it. He's got his head under there checking the oil, and the Southern Pacific Freight slams into his car doing 90 miles an hour. The car came to a rest more than a mile down the track.
What a pointless waste of life.
You'll get plenty of blood and guts and mindless stupidity working traffic, Phelps. And who needs a Second Amendment when we'll give a goddamn fool the license to get behind the wheel of an automobile?
If it's a kidnapping, why leave the victim's ID? If it's a murder, why leave the car? The evidence doesn't add up.
Free lesson, Phelps. Evidence will only get you so far. You ask me, the whole thing feels hinky as hell.
What I wouldn't give to have your powers of intuition, Bukowski.
Don't worry, kid. Keep watching the master and you'll get there one day.
Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to try on stuff.
No use leaving the thing half finished.
Where you going, Phelps? This is the place.
So the pipe missing from Mr. Black's heater is the same one that killed him. Huh. Seems like the assailant is a little closer to home.
Just a minute.
LAPD, Mrs. Black. May we come in? We have some bad news, and we'd rather discuss this in private.
I'm Margaret Black. We can discuss this in the living room. Please come in.
Your husband drives a blue Lincoln, Mrs. Black?
That's correct.
The car has been found abandoned, and I'm afraid there are signs of foul play.
I knew something was wrong when he didn't come home.
We believe your husband may be injured. We found a pipe on the scene with blood on it.
Oh, no! My poor Adrian!
Does the name Insta-Heat mean anything to you, ma'am?
Yes, it does. We've just had a new water heater installed.
Whereabouts, Mrs. Black?
Just outside the kitchen window, at the side of the house.
I'd like you to try and stay calm and remember everything that you can about last night. My partner and I are going to take a look around. When you're ready, we're going to have some more questions for you. Is that okay?
Of course, officer. Anything to help secure my husband's safety.
Well, let's check the place out. Come on.
Have a good look around. There's got to be something in here to go on.
Lie down. Make yourself comfortable. So, you're a friend of Courtney's?
Yes, Doctor.
He seems very concerned about you.
I have these visions. These blinding visions. I can't get them out of my head. My skull, it feels like it's in a vice.
I want to give you something to calm your nerves. I want to take you on a journey back. I want you to remember the good things about your past, occasions that made you happy, times that made you smile.
Kavanaugh's. So who brought this home?
Maybe Adrian was a patron. R&I should have an address.
This was only recently installed, not 2 days ago. I wonder if someone in the house bought this unit knowing how they would use the parts. Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Kavanaugh's bar.
Certainly, Detective. One moment. Kavanaugh's Bar, corner of Aliso and Hewitt, south side of Union Station.
Thanks, ma'am. This must be Adrian's. Stenzel. So the glasses are a match. Separate bedrooms, separate pictures. What gives here? To my Adrian. This thing gets more and more interesting. A used ticket to Seattle and a suitcase gone missing. Someone couldn't wait to get out of this house.
I'm all right now, detectives.
We found a receipt in the trunk of your husband's car for a live pig. This receipt was made out to an F. Morgan.
A pig? Adrian runs a tool business. That would be Frank Morgan. God knows what he's up to.
What makes you say that about Morgan, ma'am?
He's the foreman at my husband's plant. A very shady character. I've told Adrian he needs to keep his distance from the staff. They're always out drinking together.
I think you should come clean with us, Mrs. Black. Your husband is missing, and after our search, I'm willing to call the circumstances suspicious. Can you account for your movements last night?
You're not accusing me, are you? Oh, what an awful thing to say. I was here all night, of course, waiting for Adrian to come home.
The evidence is stacking up, Mrs. Black. It all places you at the rail yard last night.
I've already told you I was here all night alone. Your stack of evidence doesn't change a thing.
Your husband frequents Kavanaugh's bar?
How did you know that? Adrian practically lives there after work.
So Adrian spends a lot of time there.
Up until recently, he's been away in Seattle a lot on business.
Did your husband tell you where he was going last night?
All he said was he was going to meet Frank for a drink.
But you knew where he was really going because you told him to meet you at the rail yards. That's where you jumped him. How did you hide the body?
You have an overly active imagination, young man. Do you have any proof of that allegation? My husband is missing. You say he may be hurt, and the best you can do is berate me? You're a poor example of a man.
Was your husband wearing his glasses when he left here yesterday?
Yes, he just bought a new pair.
Go on.
I kept telling him to throw those old ones away. He tried to repair them with tape. They looked terrible.
Tell us about the photo of Adrian in the bedroom.
What is there to tell? It's from his most recent business trip to Seattle.
There's plenty to tell. You just won't tell it. You're lying about the photograph, Mrs. Black.
You're incredibly rude and insensitive. But I guess you know that. I've told you what I know about the picture.
What about Nicole, Mrs. Black? Was your husband going to leave you for her?
I've seen the photo frame. He thinks I'm stupid. But women sense these things. I don't know if he intended to leave me or if it was just a fling. God only knows. I only want to know that he's safe.
We'll keep you informed, Mrs. Black.
Please do, Detective.
Jesus, I'm glad to be out of there.
Mr. and Mrs. Black don't seem to have the happiest home life.
He's too scared to divorce her, and she's too much of a shrinking violet to throw him out. If this hadn't happened, they could have stayed miserable together forever.
You think she could have killed him?
She sure as hell doesn't seem the type, but stranger things have happened.
You're a goddamn menace! Goddamn maniac!
Hey, I know you.
No, you don't.
We were at school together. How about you buy me a drink for old time's sake?
You looking for someone?
Wait.
You know Frank Morgan?
Sure. Frank's a regular. He's a loner in the back.
She wants a 5-star goddamn way.
Frank Morgan?
Who's asking?
Cole Phelps, LAPD. I understand you're a friend of Adrian Black.
Yeah, I know him.
Are you aware that he's missing?
No, I hadn't heard that. Tough break.
We found Black's car abandoned in a freight depot, covered in blood. You know anything about that, Morgan?
Hell no. I'm sorry to hear that. I like Adrian. He's a good boss.
Please, don't tell me you actually believe this jerk-off, Phelps.
You're lying, Morgan. You were there.
And you're talking out your ass, detective. How about you prove I was out at that rail yard?
You were there, Morgan. We found a receipt in the trunk of the car. It has your name on it. We can call the slaughter yard and nail you on it.
All right already. That fool Adrian's fallen for some dame in Seattle. He wanted me to make it look like he'd been attacked.
Where exactly is Black holed up?
No idea. I think he took off for Seattle.
Lies, lies, and more lies, Morgan. You know where he is.
What have you got that says I know where he is? Well, that's it for me, gentlemen. Over and out.
So Adrian isn't hurt? What's with all the blood?
I don't know. It was dark. He must have caught a nick on something. Yeah.
So tell us what really happened.
I drove with him out there. Kind of moral support. We parked the car, and Adrian left the glasses in the pipe. I took the trolley back here, and Adrian took off.
This doesn't add up, Morgan. Your excuses don't help. Let's see how you enjoy the LAPD taking an interest in your life.
You want my opinion? We tail Morgan. I say he's lying, and whatever hole he's got Adrian stashed in, he's got to go back there sometime.